voice. I'm well. How are you?
Oh, good, thanks. Did you ever get a hold of Dwayne Rogers?
I did speak to him.
Oh, good.
And he had told me to send for the book, and then I lost his address and telephone number.
Oh, me too.
You did?
Yeah, what else did he tell you?
Well, he said that the best thing would be to get the book and see if I could use the information in the book.
Uh-huh.
And that, he's been through everything and he's gone through everything.
I think he has.
He perhaps he has, but
Yeah.
I just didn't think that he's aware of what I was going through, or what my son was going through, more importantly. And
So you wanted any help, huh?
well, I thought about when you're working with a situation like this, you go wherever you can get help.
I have a number here. It's Peter Simpson, 320 857 2400. Yeah. Yeah. But he's going to say the same thing, buy the book.
Everybody says buy the book, huh?
I think so. I think so.
I've bought books like this before, but maybe it'll help. Who knows? I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I'm just working with it. It's interesting. I got this premonition back in September on the 6th that things were not going to go well between the 6th and the 26th, and Adonis's court date was the 10th, and for some reason the lawyer did not show up in court. Her mother had a heart attack, and she thought her office had phoned in, and her office thought she had called for court.
Oh, geez.
And I just happened to have a very good friend who is also an attorney from New Jersey. He had he decided that morning to join us in court. So he stood up for my son, and they actually picked a jury in 2 days. The funniest thing happened that next day was the bombing, and so it threw everything. It postponed everything in the court, and they had to declare a mistrial.
Oh, really?
Yes, they declared a mistrial. So now Adonis has to go back on the 11th. I'm sorry, November 7th. November 7th, and start all over again.
Is he incarcerated?
Yes, he is.
Oh.
They've given him a bail, but the bail is very high.
Yeah.
And the district attorney won't. The judge was willing to reduce the bail to $25,000, which we could handle, but.
Oh, that's such a civil RICO.
But he wouldn't hear of it.
That's such a ripoff. See, he wants a conviction. They don't care whether they're innocent or not. They just want a conviction.
He says he's going to he would drop all the charges except gun possession. I said, but my son doesn't possess a gun. He said, yes, but I want him to plead to having a gun. If he pleads to having a gun,
he wants him to lie.
I'll give him 6 years.
Yeah, he wants to lie.
Yeah, he wants him to lie.
Yeah, he wants him to lie, and that's just the way they are. Now, you would think that these lousy U.S. attorneys would go after the people who murdered 5,000 people.
Yes.
You'd think they'd do that and leave innocent citizens alone.
That's right. I told him, I said, do you think if my son was capable of doing any of these things in 3 years?
Of course not.
Do you think he would not have taken 5 years, 10 years, 6 years, 12 years, 15 years? Do you think he wouldn't have taken... I have 11 different things that the DA has offered my son, and he has said no to each and every one of them. I'm not guilty. I didn't do it. You have the wrong person. I said, do you think that he would not, if he was guilty of all this, he wouldn't take 6 years and get off?
They don't care. They just want a conviction. They have no interest in innocent or guilty. They just want a conviction.
Madness.
They are not human. These people are totally dehumanized. The only thing they count is a conviction, innocent or guilty. Get somebody.
Get somebody. That's right. And so we're just amazed. We're just
things. One, you got to picket. Two, you got to sue them. And three, you got to go on television and expose them.
Well, we were told if we do that, then they would come after him with a vengeance. And I said, well, we haven't exhausted the courts yet. I don't want the big guys don't want to really come after this until he has been convicted. I was like, oh my God. They want a conviction first, and then they can have it overturned. But I don't want to risk that. He's still a very young man. The victim of crimes like this.
Call Michael Brown, 417-890-8617. Tell him you saw it on Glendora.
Who's Michael Brown, Glendora?
The one who gives those lectures.
Oh, okay.
Haven't you seen him on Chat with Glendora?
Yes, I have.
That's the one. He's the one who gets people out of prison on appeal.
He's another one that needs a conviction.
No. No, he is the one who gets people out of prison.
When you're under an appeal, Glendora?
Well, he appeals it at the post-conviction. They get into prison, and then he gets them out.
Right, but that's my point. Adonis has never gotten that far. He's only been, for 3.5 years, he's just been arrested, shown in lineups. The woman did not pick him out, and the funny thing is the DA said to the jury, when they were choosing the jury, he says, the woman who was abused will not tell you that he did it. She will not identify him. But the witnesses will identify him, and you have to believe them, even if they have a record, even if they make...
Oh, the witnesses are being paid.
The witnesses are getting off.
No, that's right. That's how they're getting paid.
Their own crimes.
And this is a fraud upon the court, and this is against the law.
And the woman has said she knows my son. It could not have been him. But their thing is, they don't care about the woman. They don't care about her robbery. They don't care about her rape. They want a link that whoever raped her also killed a man. And therefore, and all they have no gun. All they have is these casings. And the woman said it wasn't him. She picked out the man who did it. He was dressed exactly as she said he would be. They picked him up within 24 hours of the first murder. And the first crime, not murder. She picked him out in the lineup twice, but the third time, they put someone in who looked like her, who was a cop. And by this time, it was 3 years, and then they let him go, arrested my son, and even though she wouldn't identify him in a lineup, they said, well, we don't care. Even though there's no DNA evidence, we don't care.
Oh, absolutely. I just got through telling you that.
It's crazy. And I have the tape of the witness.
Yes, now listen.
Is one of the kids that grew up on the block, and he's saying the most craziest things.
And you're afraid to go on television and expose this?
No, I'm afraid to go on too soon. If you go on with this, in the beginning, it dies out. You got to hit them when it's going to do a lot of good. Right now, you're not going to get much press because you got the bombing of the World Trade Center.
I didn't say that. I said you're not going to go on.
We know
You're not going to go on public access and expose it that's going on right now. I did, and they ran away. And I had the same situation that you did.
And I need to get a show.
Yes, I think you need to get a show, and I think you need to pick it. And I think you need to file complaints about them. What's the name of the judge?
Buchter. B-U-C-H-T-E-R. Honorable Richard Buchter. B-U-C-H-T-E-R.
B-U-C-H-T-E-R? Buchter?
Buchter.
Never heard that name. What court is it?
Supreme Court and of Queens in Kew Gardens.
Well, you're in Manhattan, right?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? What's your address?
453 West 125th Street.
Okay.
At the time, we had a house in Rosedale, Queens. 2.5 years, but I've literally, to defend my son, and just out of distress, this thing killed my mother. This thing, literally, he has not seen his children in 3 years.
Oh, that's terrible.
He's got 2 small children. One is in the 2nd grade, the other's in the 1st grade. He was due to get married. He was due to go into college that January. They arrested him in December. His life is completely stopped.
Oh, sure. They do this all the time.
They won't allow him to have a computer
No, they
so
do
that
this.
he can study. They won't.
Yeah, it doesn't do any good to tell me, okay? What good does it do to tell me?
I'm just letting you know I'm aware of everything they've done to him.
All right, now do you know how to get your own TV show?
No, I don't.
Well,
Would you tell me?
yes, you go down to Manhattan Neighborhood Network. It's on 59th Street, between 11th and 12th.
Do I need to write a proposal or something?
We'll go down and see them. Tell them you want all the information.
Okay.
Ask for Anthony Riddle.
Anthony.
Riddle. Riddle. Ask for Anthony Riddle.
Anthony.
Riddle. Riddle. R-I-D-D-L-E.
Okay. Wow.
Tell them Glendora sent you. I think you have to tell what they're doing to you, so they'll stop it. Because that's the only thing that they don't have control over. They don't have control over the media. Change the channel, please. Change the channel.
Who are you talking to?
The person who should be changing the channel. Okay.
Glendora, thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome.
Very, very, very much.
Adonis is the name of a Greek youth
Yes.
who was beloved by Aphrodite.
Yes.
And because she loved him so, and he was killed by a wild boar.
Yes, sure.
And because Aphrodite loved him so, and weeks so much about him, he only had to spend half of a year in Hades instead of the full year.
That's right.
That's the Greek myth.
That's right.
A beautiful youth, Adonis.
And he is. He's an absolute leader, and he's absolutely gorgeous. And it's true. I love him with all my heart, and every other gal that sees him loves him with all their heart. To love him, and the guys like to like. He has a lot of charisma, and maybe that's another reason why they came against him.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, I recorded it. Do you want it to go on TV?
Yes.
Okay. I'll try to arrange that. But she's another innocent victim, and they manufacture these over and over again. And I would think that they would use the U.S. attorney to go out and get the people who murdered the 5,000 people in Manhattan.
Right, that's right.
Instead of going after innocent people like this and manufacturing criminals and just...
Going jail.
Yeah, that's right.
Going jail.
That's right. It's terrible. Okay, you got Michael Brown's number?
Yes, I do, and I'm going to call him right away.
Okay.
Thank you, Glendora.
All righty, thanks. You have my number?
May I have it again?
914
Yes.
949
Yes.
9495. Okay, hon.
Thank you, Glendora.
I'm sorry, but I chased them away by drilling at them every week and putting up in graphics that they were liars and thieves and that they were pulling a civil RICO, and I got rid of them. Take care. They came up with false charges on us. A court security guard beat us up.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. And then he lied about it. And then he said that we beat him up, and we never touched him. And so they went through his whole thing and went through a trial and found guilty. And went through the whole thing.
Unbelievable.
And it never happened. And they do this all the time.
They make it up as they go along.
Oh, it's terrible. You take care. I know what you're going through. Take care.
Thank you. You're a saint.
Oh.
I bless you for fighting back and for giving others the power to go ahead to do it.
Oh, you got to do it.
Against me.
Get down there. Yeah, get down there. And you got to expose it. Okay, take care.
Thank you, dear.
Bye-bye. I got another call from Cheryl Golden right after this. She said she talked to Michael Brown for 3 hours. Oh, my goodness. And Michael Brown wants Glendora and Cheryl Golden and Lori Galgano to come to a seminar that Michael Brown is giving in Missouri. Folks, here's a letter that I wrote to my friend who is a PhD in physics, theoretical physics, and I met him at the State University of New York at Buffalo. I was there as a graduate student in physics, and his name is Dr. Eric Beth, and he's writing a paper. It's sort of like Einstein in his theory of relativity. Something came to them from above, of course. And he says that, and I keep after him to keep writing his paper before something happens and get it down. And he says, I have not yet succeeded finishing my paper. Since I received your letter, I found the answers to 2 sub-problems that are of such a nature that at least the statement that I have the solution should go into the first part, and one of them either should go entirely into the first part, or depending how long the last text becomes, the editors put a very reasonable limit on that, and a too long paper also will not much be read, and when read, not well understood. There should go into the first part a statement that I have the answer, and then the answer should become a part of by itself. The 2 statements that I had these answers are likely to enhance greatly the likelihood that the referees will recommend acceptance of the paper. It also is very likely that these statements will increase in many readers the interest in the matter sufficiently that they will read some of the latter. I wrote him back an 8-page letter. And then he speaks of his paper one more time and the answers that he got. I think this is thrilling. The answer is that one of the problems mentioned in the third paragraph above, about which I wrote that perhaps not only a statement that I have the answer may go into part 1, but the answer itself. I had been trying to find this answer since the 1960s. 40 years. 40 years. Concerning the answer to the other problem, it is inevitable that not the answer itself will go into the first part, but on a statement that I have it. In order to state the answer itself, I must first state some features of my theoretical attempts for which there is no room in part 1. Isn't that exciting? He's writing this paper? Oh, I think that's terrific. I think that's right. Now, I have another paper. Karen Murphy. I sent the motion in for Dunn, John P. Dunn, to recuse. You remember that I played that for you. I read it for you. So, the clerk sent it back, and with all this very bad gobbledygook, both the motion clerk sent it back and the court clerk sent it back. My motion for John P. Dunn to recuse. And again, I suspect it's because they don't want it in the record, because I've told the world that John P. Dunn had done nothing. He hadn't done his job. So, I sent the whole thing back to the clerk of Nassau County, and that would be Karen Murphy, Nassau County Clerk, 240 Old Country Road, Mineola, New York, 11501. 1, your clerks are somnolent. 2, this treatment is shoddy, supercilious, and superficial. They don't read. The case number is there. The case was filed in your court, removed by the Gestapo feds pursuant to Title 28 U.S. Code Section 1441 to 1449, then remanded to your court. Glendora was declared informa pauperis on this case back in 1998. All they have to do is get out the file in the clerk's office, Glendora versus Limley, yours in truth, Glendora, and we'll remember in November. I put that on the outside of the envelope. Peter said to Elaine, "When are you thinking of getting married?" And Elaine said, "Constantly." And teenagers really brighten up a home. They never turn off the lights. And the physics professor said to the student, "What do you know about the speed of light?" And the student says, "Well, nothing, except it gets here too early in the morning." And Diane said to her husband, "George, you've been up to that buffet table 7 times. Aren't you embarrassed?" And he says, "Oh, no, honey, I keep telling him it's for you." And did you hear about the couple who got married so late in life that Medicare picked up 80% of the honeymoon? And John says now that he's married, he understands why English is the mother tongue. Father never gets a chance to use it. And Ed says that his favorite trick is running his wedding videotape backwards so that he can see himself walk out of church a free man. October 9th, 2001 Anno Domini, 684 at Armont, 48 miles, 1 hour, up at 3:30 a.m., chores, check the to-do list, the logs, exercise the body, put in the expenses and the mileage, take care of the cats, Rusty was a perfect dog all night, just as quiet as could be. Franklin's foods. Get Franklin up to the bathroom. Make his bed. Get him washed and dressed and to his desk. Franklin is so much better. He can't walk, but he's so much better. White Plains at 50 miles. 1 hour and 5 minutes. Coming into the hutch. Took 6 loads to load the car, back up the editing equipment, the food and stuff for Rusty, and the rubbish. Franklin was so good. Sits in his chair at his desk all day. He's read both of his idiot sheets, the sporting news. He's read a lot of the Monday New York Times. He has a TV set right by him. Some very good spirits. He does the bookkeeping. Yesterday was a stellar day. Work got done. I was all done to work at 4:30. And I had free time. I don't remember this happening since last July. Maybe it was August. Free time. A victory. Labored and fought for that for years and years. Free time. The telephoning was done. Legal papers were done. Details were done. For errands, I went out and asked Al if he could put in fuses and the directional and secure and the license plate on the front to stop it from rattling. And he said no. But it was October 12th, Columbus Day, and everybody was bringing their cars in to be fixed. I asked Sitco. He said 4 or 4:30. So I went up to Precision and I asked Doug, and Doug said he didn't see why not. And he got the fuses in and the directionals worked and the heater worked. And they couldn't find a flasher to fit this car. But Doug pushed in my old one and it worked. As far as the license plate, it needs a frame, and that's going to cost about $35, another outrageous Lincoln ripoff. And he said it'll be in Thursday. But Thursday I will be in court with my former landlord getting back the security deposit that he stole, $1,200 plus interest. So everything's up to date. Videotaping's up to date. Chat with Glendora's up to date. River Parkway. 7:20 a.m. It was pitch black when we left. And the temperature this morning, 29 degrees. And you want to know what the temperature is now, Rusty? This car gives you the outside temperature. 34 degrees. .54 miles, Hutchison River Parkway at Harrison. It's 7:20 a.m.
On the island, westbound Vets Highway, much better around MacArthur Airport. An accident cleared. Also on the LIE westbound, slow delays into Comac Road, exit 52 with an accident over to the side of the road. Mass transit is running on or close to schedule. Now the forecast.
We're live at MacArthur Airport on Long Island. Mike Zaronax, WCBS 880 News.
Commuters coming into Grand Central Terminal in Penn Station now will see the National Guard on patrol, just like at the airport. WCBS reporter Peter Haskell's at Penn Station this morning and joins us live.
It's a sign of the time. The National Guard has been added to the security mix here at Penn Station. In their camouflage uniforms and their shiny combat boots, the troops will serve as extra sets of eyes and ears. Travelers here like what they see.
I just think it's great. Makes me feel very secure. I think it's inherent. It's just going to be tougher for people to try and do the person thing.
The troops here are not armed. Reporting live at Penn Station, Peter Haskell, WCBS 880 News.
WCBS News Time, 7:37 traffic and weather together in just a moment. You work on it.
You think on it, play on it.
I-95, cross 3 lanes. Go farther, roads are clear. Things are back to normal, speeding tickets. Let's cross over 3 more lanes. Bridge. And time is 7:40. 7. An hour and a half. Still a line. Hi there. There's the camera.
Show it to the camera.
Have a receipt. Thank you. Said. Show it to the camera, she said. Okay, so that is 60 miles is across county. 70 miles is the toll gate. Keep the speed down here.
Strike near Kabul.
We ask the world to be cognizant of the need to protect civilians in general. We also ask in general for recognition of the distinction between combatants and non-combatants.
Stephanie Bunker, UN spokeswoman in Pakistan. Some planes returned to a U.S. aircraft carrier in the Indian Ocean with their bombs still attached. Apparently couldn't find intended targets or decided civilians might be too close. Senator John McCain tells the CBS News Early Show he does not expect many more days of heavy bombing.
There's just very little to strike from the air, and that's why I think we will be moving into operations which may include the use of ground troops, but in a very